KP's Video News, y'all. It's KP's Video News, y'all. It's KP's Video News, y'all.
For alarm. That's right, folks. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 4 alarm. Yep, 4 alarm. I think Kevin McCarthy has lost for the umpteenth time as far as getting his vote for Speaker of the House. Oh well. Yep. They want him to bend over, twist in the wind for a minute. So, you know, hey, get her done. I tell you, man. I tell you. Okay, folks, so I'm going to get started real quick. Don't forget to hit the like button and hit the, don't forget to hit that like button over there. Don't forget to subscribe to KP's Video News. Don't forget all that good stuff. Don't forget to hit that notification bell up there so you can get notified anytime I come up with some new videos. You know, and shout out to all my people that send me shows and send me, things and requests. I really truly need you. I need you all the time. I'm telling you, man, it's crazy situations we're going through these days. But anyway, what's going on with my crazy shirt here? Oh well. Crazy shirt's acting a fool. It's a foolish shirt acting crazy. Alright, yeah, that's as good as it gets. Anyway, we have a pastor. Got a pastor in Moore County, North Carolina, named Lee Marvin Harris, Sr. And what happened, he was stepping into the shower, and when he heard shouting voices outside of his home, then came a loud banging on his door. He peered out the window. He saw cops all over his lawn, and he said, "Don't bust open my door," Harris yelled, putting his pajamas on. He says he opened the front door to an assault rifle pointed at his head, and the police from the small town of Southern Pines claim that they found 88 grams of powder cocaine and 13 grams of crack inside a broken down Cadillac in Harris's backyard, which just happened to be his son's car. The magistrate slapped Harris Sr. with a $5 million bond, and he spent the next 5 months in Moore County Jail. Harris Sr., one of 8 people arrested following a year-long investigation called Operation Leader, made for an unlikely cocaine trafficker. The then 48-year-old disabled Army veteran, former corrections officer, community advocate, and ordained minister, Harris Sr. had no criminal history and was known as a teetotaler that did not drink. He did not drink. So in 2007, he'd written a book called The Crack Cocaine Satan's Top Man. The case didn't stick. It didn't stick. In September 2018, a few months after federal prosecutors claimed jurisdiction, they dismissed Harris's charges. Feds never gave a formal explanation, but they noted in court that police surveillance had twice witnessed Harris's son, Lee Marvin Harris Jr., the target of Operation Leader, go over to a Cadillac covered with a gray cover for a few minutes, consistent with placing an item in or retrieving an item from the vehicle during brief visits to his parents' house, and weeks before they searched Harris Sr.'s property. Police did not present any of that information to state court, to the district attorney, to his attorney, or anybody else until they were indicted in the federal court. Harris Sr. stated in a brief interview that they could have cleared me. Last December, Harris filed a federal lawsuit alleging the Southern Pines cops fabricated evidence against him as retaliation for internal affairs complaints he previously lodged against them, including one in which he had accused Jason Perry, one of the drug investigation's lead detectives, of hating black people and to coerce him into ratting out his son. A federal judge will soon decide whether Harris's lawsuit can proceed to trial or whether the legal doctrine of qualified immunity shields Southern Pines and its cops from litigation. The decision looms weeks after the gunman knocked out 2 more county substations, leaving 40,000 residents without power. The attack coincided with the Southern Pines drag show that had been the subject of right-wing protests, though authorities haven't linked the 2 events or identified any subjects in the sabotage. It will follow news that the neo-Nazi hung anti-Semitic signs on Moore County bridges on the first day of Hanukkah and Christmas Day. Moore County has long been plagued by KKK-related militarism and racial segregation. A local civil rights advocate and attorney stated in Southern Pines and other townships overlooked low-income black communities contrast with quaint, thriving downtowns that feed off of the region's burgeoning golf industry. These divides carry over into law enforcement. As of 2020, Southern Pines had no black police officers, though 17% of the town's 16,000 residents are black. Perry and Captain Kyle Marsh, who was then Perry's supervisor, did not respond to requests for interviews. Scott McLean, an attorney for Southern Pines and 4 current officers named in Harris's lawsuit, declined comment. No comment, no comment, no comment. So Harris filed his first internal affairs complaint against Perry in 2009, putting his son over based on the volume of his truck's muffler. In 2013, he filed another on a complaint to produce a court record. Harris Sr. wrote in his complaint that he saw a crowd that appeared to be enraged outside of a house the Southern Pines police officers were raiding for marijuana. He said Perry came outside, spotted him, and with this great Kool-Aid smile on his face, yelled for everyone to leave. Well, if there wasn't any drugs inside the house before Perry got here, Harris wrote that he reported there will be after he leaves. Perry got in his face and screamed at him to leave right now, Harris claimed, adding that he was trying to provoke me. He said Perry is a dirty police officer who makes his name and career by hating black people as a whole. Harris continued in his complaint. He creates false confidential informers to illegally obtain search warrants, as he lies to the magistrates on application for search warrants to bust in the homes of black people. The police department claimed that those allegations were unfounded. Strictly speaking, Harris's lawsuit doesn't allege that Perry charged the minister because he's racist. Rather, it charged he's targeted Harris in part because Harris Sr. had previously accused him of being a racist. So it's like, wow, man, there's some crazy stuff going on. So you go from there to this next particular, over to North Carolina sheriff resigns for a second time. A recently re-elected North Carolina sheriff resigned for the second time in 3 months after coming under fire for racist comments he made about employees. Columbus County Sheriff Jody Green resigned in October after a recorded phone call became public in which he said 2 of employees, "I'm sick of these black so-and-sos and every black that I know. You need to fire him." But Green remained on the November ballot and won re-election. Minutes after he was sworn in on December 9th, District Attorney John David filed a petition to have him removed again and sought to permanently disqualify him this time. Green's attorney announced a second resignation at the beginning of a hearing for that petition Wednesday, following months of political pressure. They claim he was the top law official in a county that's 30% black and sits in the southeastern corner of the state, an often forgotten region of more than 100 miles of urban centers, Raleigh and Charlotte. So, Green's comments came after his first election in 2018 when he narrowly defeated a black candidate for sheriff, Lewis Hatcher, by less than 40 votes. So he made the comment that he hates Democrats, and then he said, I take that back. I hate all black Democrats. Wow. I knew right then it was going to be an issue. So, sadly, the SBI got involved when we learned that this phone call was just the tip of the iceberg. So this isn't the first time Green has been scrutinized. In his first 2 years in office, the department accepted nearly $4 million in surplus military equipment, including helicopters and mine-resistant vehicles. Oh, come on, man. Man, I tell you, man, these people are really crazy. So, anyway, Columbus County borders Bladen, another rural and impoverished county that was on the edge of a center of major election fraud scandal that led state elections officials to overturn the results of a 2018 9th congressional district race. The central operative in that story, McCrae Dowless, also worked to help Green get elected by less than 40 votes that same year. But national attention focused on Bladen because it involved a higher profile congressional race. Yeah, these people, man, scandalous. Scandalous. He also faced questions about involvement with the Oath Keepers after they publicly said they invited him to their Facebook page. But he claimed that he's not a member of the Oath Keepers. He's never been a member of the Oath Keepers. Yeah, I tell you, man, it's crazy, man. Got another cop story here. In California, police searched black teens at 6 times the rate of white teens. So California law enforcement was more than twice as likely to use force against people they perceived as black during vehicle and pedestrian stops in 2021 as compared to people believed to be white, according to the state report released Tuesday. The annual report by California's Racial and Identity Profiling Advisory Board gathered data on vehicle and pedestrian stops by officers from 58 law enforcement agencies in 2021, and the data includes what officers perceive to be race, ethnicity, gender, and disability status of the people they stop, so that the state can better identify and analyze bias in policing. The 58 agencies, which include the 23 largest departments in the state, collectively made more than 3.1 million vehicle and pedestrian stops. Wow, come on, man. 2021. By April, all of California's more than 400 law enforcement agencies must submit their data. Wow. I'm telling you, man. The data includes how officers perceive an individual's race or gender, even if it's different from that than how the person identifies, because police officer perception is what drives bias. In more than 42% of the 3.1 million stops, the individual was perceived to be Hispanic or Latino. According to the report, more than 30% were perceived to be white and 15% were perceived to be black. But law enforcement searched people who were perceived to be black at 2.2 times the rate of people they thought to be white. And teenagers 15 to 17 years who were perceived to be black were searched nearly 6 times the rate of teens believed to be white. From news of politics, travel, sport, culture, man, I'm telling you, man, this is really crazy. It's a really crazy situation. Yep. So, you know, I also had a cop in New York that got suspended after footage appears to show him repeatedly punching a 14-year-old girl. Oh, boy. So, the officer who has been with the department for 14 years has been suspended and is under investigation for use of force by Internal Affairs Bureau. The department, in a statement, claims the 2 officers observed a fight involving multiple female juveniles at 2 p.m. on Tuesday after school was let out. The officers were assigned to a school dismissal post near Willowbrook Road and Forest Avenue in Staten Island, where the fight took place. While attempting to take one of the individuals into custody, a 14-year-old female obstructed the arrest by reaching for an officer's handcuffs and striking the officer on the head, the NYPD stated in a statement. And utilized physical force against this female by striking her with his hand several times, and the 14-year-old female was taken into custody and removed to a local hospital where she was treated and released. Wow. So everybody was saying he's hitting her. Yep. In an exclusive interview, the 14-year-old Kiona Robinson in the video said she jumped in when the girl began to fight her younger 12-year-old sister. The girl is bigger than my sister, fighting my sister. Of course I'm going to jump in. I didn't know what was going on. I just ran over there. And so they had a video. He said he pushed me, and they just started fighting. I don't care who you are. You touch me, I'm going to fight back. Connor said she was treated for a headache and bump. It was so she was disappointed in the NYPD. Said, you know, I'm just a child. Why are you putting your hands on me? You're supposed to be breaking up the fight, which is true. Which is absolutely, positively true. You know, so this is crazy, man. You know, you have a grown man that's just, you know, just pummeling, man, this 14-year-old child, just with a closed fist, man, just hitting her again and again and again and again. And it's like, hey, you don't think that, you know, just, you know, trying to grab the girl or push her out the way to stop her, to get away from the fight? Well, why is it necessary for you to, you know, to hit this 14-year-old child? It's a child. It's not a grown-up. It's a child. And even if it was a grown-up, see, you wouldn't do that to a man. You're a bunch of cowards, man. Bunch of cowards out here. Anyway, don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget this is KP Video News. And, you know, hey, it is what it is, folks. You know who it is. You know who it is, folks. You know who it is. KP and KP
KP's Video News, y'all.